Ah, you're finally here. Late, as usual. I expected nothing less. I would have assumed that a task as simple as coming directly to a tea shop after work would be impossible to mess up. And yet, you seem to have been able to mess it up anyway. You never cease to astound me, Miss Troublemaker. Please, sit. You're making quite the scene with all that standing and staring like you don't know me. People seem to hate me enough as is, and I don't need your incompetence strengthening their prejudices. There. Much better. With how pretty you look in that dress. If you had stood there any longer, I'm sure some misguided do-gooder would have come to rescue you. I must say, you are much too nice for your own good. Why can't you just be like everyone else and ignore me? You know, it takes a lot less effort for me to just accept that I will never have any friends than it does to try and understand why someone like you would even consider spending time with someone like me. Shouldn't you be clubbing or partying or whatever normal people do on Friday nights? Despite all of your shortcomings, I believe I have sufficiently compensated for them. I brought a book, as I normally do, that I was able to enjoy while awaiting your arrival. Further, I made sure to find a seat close to the entrance so that you would have no trouble finding me once you finally did decide to show up. And finally, I took the liberty of ordering 2 of my drink of choice, a medium matcha milk tea with 75% sweetness, half ice, regular boba, and lychee jelly chunks. I thought it would help to reduce the anxiety of being a first-time patron in this cafe and allow you to see if you share my taste. But mostly, I didn't want you to embarrass me by wasting the cashier's time. I still have PTSD from the 2019 Christmas party. You single-handedly forced our entire department to wait an extra 10 minutes in the buffet line because you couldn't decide which salad dressing you were in the mood for. Well, at the very least, you did eventually show up. That stands for something, I suppose. And, well, it seems you did yourself up at least a little bit. I don't recall you ever putting this much effort into your appearance for any office function. Let me guess, you have a date later tonight, correct? What do you mean this is your only plan for tonight? I can't say I understand. You mean to say that you did yourself up for this? That you did yourself up for me? That can't be right. There must be some unseen ulterior motive. Wait, you want something from me, don't you? After I slipped into kindness and allowed you that laptop, you saw opportunity in cozying up to me. I will have no part of it. I assume that you were different from the rest. That you, unlike everyone else in this world, saw me for something more than a sad, exploitable man. I'll be leaving now. Having any faith in you was obviously just another mistake. Why are you touching me like that? Why did you grab my hand? Oh, you don't hate me. And you're not here for any other reason than to hang out. And you really did yourself up. Just for this. I'm sorry for lashing out. I don't have a lot of trust for people, and when I couldn't make sense of your actions. I just assumed that there had to be some nefarious motivation behind them. I'm not blushing. It's just I was recently at the beach and it hadn't been for a while, and my cheeks are just sunburned. Idiot. It also feels nice, maybe. I mean, because you haven't stopped holding my hand. Your skin is so soft, and your hand is so warm. This is such a strange sensation. I'm not hiding behind my cup or anything. What would make you say that? I just really like this drink, you know? And, well, for some reason it's just gotten really hard to look you into your eyes. I don't know what this feeling is. It's like there are butterflies in my stomach and my chest is burning up. That smile. You're quite pleased with yourself, aren't you? The one to finally get me to let down my walls. The one to get me to blush. I would have to be mad at you if your hand didn't feel so nice and if your smile wasn't so warm. Is this really okay? You don't have to pretend. Just because I'm always alone. You're a good person, but I don't want you to put on a show for me. Well, if you insist, I guess I'll take your word for it. This is all really new for me, if that wasn't already obvious. Who knew that the source of most of my troubles in the office could also be responsible for this inexplicable happiness that I'm feeling? Hey, don't laugh. That wasn't a joke. And if I'm being honest, I tend to be much more happy surrounded by my computers at home. They always do exactly what I tell them to do, and they don't have any stupid emotions or social cues that I have to try to interpret. Here I'm so nervous, and I don't know what to say, and I'm afraid of messing things up. So don't get on your high horse just yet, Miss Troublemaker. You've still got a lot to prove for yourself. This is probably going to sound silly, but do you mind coming around to my side of the table? I can't really explain it, but it feels like the table is getting in the way. Like if we were closer together, then everything would be better. Wow. And here I thought that this feeling couldn't have gotten any better. And if I'm not mistaken, I'd say you've begun to blush as well. So, did you like the drink? Really? That's nice to hear. I guess I really haven't gotten tea with many people, but I guess I just sort of assumed that I was alone in my preferences. It's such a warm feeling to know that you share something with someone else. You know what? Despite you being so obnoxiously happy and carefree, and not to mention all of your very obvious flaws and being logical and punctual, somehow this, well, it was nice. I mean, it is nice now, in this moment. And I don't mean to sound greedy, but would you mind if this was more of a consistent thing? Would you mind coming to this tea shop more often? Or well, other places too, if that would suit your fancy. And perhaps I'd do myself up a little after work as well, so that we could walk together and I wouldn't have to wait on you. Thoughts? You're such a jerk, not making me beg at all, just being willing to, well, do things that would, make me happy. I mean, thank you. It's, nice not being shot down when I speak my mind. This is such a strange feeling, having something to look forward to besides the next video game release or video card launch. Just being here with you, holding your hand, leaning on your head, leaning on my shoulder. Looking forward to hanging out more. It's even more exhilarating than the days I spent waiting in line for the RTX 3090. Thank you, Miss Troublemaker, for everything.